Welcome to CoPilot411. Today we're going to be talking about the Skyflow, the brand spanking new Skyflow that came out November 2025. Now, the new Skyflow actually has this nice remote. We don't even have to have a phone. It's got it all included, no phone necessary. We're going to tell you how to get it started, how to pair it. First thing we're going to want to do is cut on the drone. Power button in the back, center button and the remote. Cut it on. While it's cutting on, the antenna, there is a wire that runs in this antenna. Lights are flashing. Screen comes on. It's not paired yet. This controller does have a 5-inch screen on it that is a touch screen, which is really nice. It just paired. These lights indicate they're quit blinking, and they indicated that it's paired once we heard the sound as well. Now, before we even get into the touch screen, let's talk a little bit about the controller itself and some of the buttons that are on it. GPS button, your power button, return to home button, and on this side you actually have a camera button. Press it once, it takes a picture. Press and hold, it will start your video. You have a knob button on the back that actually controls zoom for your camera. On this side you have a speed button. You press it 3 times, there's 3 speeds. You have a gimbal control right here on the back side of it, your sticks, and on the bottom you have your charging port. It's actually a USB-C charging port, and you have a TF card slot on the controller itself. The drone has a TF card slot on it as well. That's where we always put our TF card, because you'll get your best video putting your TF card and recording it straight from the drone instead of your controller. It does have both options, but you can't use them at the same time. That's why we always use the TF card on the drone. Now, looking at our screen, this is a touch screen. You have a button up here to change your settings as far as English or whatever language you want. You have an album button, so you could go in, look at videos, you could look at pictures, and then you have a Go Fly. Go Fly will press, and it's going to carry you to the image that's coming from the drone itself. So you can actually see the image coming from that. Now let's look at some of the features that are on the screen itself. You do have a arrow button that'll carry you back to the startup screen. We'll hit Go Fly again. You do have a little window up here that actually is talking about GPS, indoor modes. You have a battery indicator for the battery life of your controller. You have a signal indicator. You have a star. That star is for interference. If you start seeing it turn red, that means you're getting some type of interference between your controller and your drone. You have a satellite up here with a number beside it. Right now it's 0 because we are indoors. You're going to need anywhere from probably 10 to 12 or more satellites to get GPS to be able to fly this outdoors. Then you have a battery indicator showing the battery life of the drone. Then you have 3 dots up here, and we'll get to that in just a minute. You have a button over here that you can actually toggle in between whether you want to take a picture or whether you want to use the camera, and then your button here, when you press it, will either take a picture or either start the video. Down here you actually have 2 TF card icons. If you're using the one in the remote, you can press here and format the card. If you're using the TF card that's in the drone, you'll press here. You could format the card that's in the drone. Over here, you do have your distance, your height, you have your speed, and all of your flights as far as height and altitudes and that type of stuff is here. Then over here you have a return to home button as well. This is a return to home button on the remote. This is a return to home button on the touch screen. Then this icon down here, you press it, it'll carry you to your modes, far as rocket mode, fly away, a spiral, and a circle me mode. So there's different modes that you can play around with. Then we're going to go back over here to the dots. You press that, it'll actually carry you to your parameters as far as distance, how far you can go out, your maximum altitude. When you press return to home, you can actually dial in how high you want it to be when it returns to home. It also has a toggle switch. When you get this brand new, it's probably going to be in beginner's mode, and it limits you on how far you can go out. And that's just so you can get used to the drone characteristics and stuff like that. But once you want to get familiar with it and you want to fly it farther, you have to take it out of beginner's mode, and then you change your parameters on what you want. Just remember, anything you change, you have to hit the save button so it'll remember the next time you go to fly the drone. If you go over to controller, you can actually calibrate your drone, the gyro, and your compass calibrations. You can do that right here. You can actually switch from metric dimensions to standard. If you go over to camera, this is where you can set and put grids on your FPV, so it'll kind of help you line things up. Some people like it, some people don't. You can cut it off or on. And then this last one just gives you information about software that's on the machine itself. Click back into the screen and it'll carry you back to your FPV. There's a few things on this that I'm going to talk about. On the back, you have two spots that you can unscrew your sticks and actually store them right here on the back. It also has two buttons on the back. One of the buttons is going to put the drone in headless mode, and one of the buttons will cut the lights off and on as your drone up here. And I don't know if it'll do it. Yep. So you can cut your lights off and on here. Nice little features to have. Now, if you want to calibrate your drone, you can do that several ways. You can do it manually using the sticks. You can actually pull them inwards. You can actually see the lights blinking. And now the gyro is set. If you want to set the compass calibration, you're going to press the GPS, and this is where we do the little drone dance. It'll actually prompt you and tell you to turn the quadcopter. You heard it beep. Now you're going to turn it upwards, and you'll spin it until you hear the beep. So now we're actually ready to go if we had satellites. Right now, we don't have satellites, so we don't have GPS. We're in GPS mode. It will actually start up, but if I throttle up, it will not do anything. It'll just cut the motors on. It don't have satellites, so it will not take off, and it'll cut itself off. To take it out of GPS mode, you have to press and hold, and you have to listen for the beeps. One beep is altitude hold mode. So now, if I do this, it will actually take off. So when you press this GPS button, you have to listen for the beeps because it will not tell you up here. I should press hold, 2 beeps. I'm in GPS mode. It'll still cut on, but it won't take off. So it can be a little frustrating if you get this drone, you bring it home and you want to fly it in the house and it won't take off. You have to press the button and listen. One beep puts it in optical flow mode, which it will be using this small camera here, and you can fly it indoors. It's not going to be the most stablest quadcopter, even inside, because that little flow sensor just don't do the best job in the world. But when you go outside, you can fly it in optical flow mode, but outside, especially with distance, you need it in GPS mode. 2 beeps puts it in GPS mode. You get 12 or more satellites, and then you can actually start the motors up and take off. So that's real important to know about this quadcopter, because it will not take off in the house if it don't have satellites. And you have to be in optical flow, and the only way that indicates that is the beeps when you press this button. Well, I hope I've covered everything that we were supposed to cover on it. It's a pretty nice quadcopter. Vivitar definitely stepped their game up when they done the new Skyflow that come out in November of 2025. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you've learned something. If you've got any comments, make sure and comment below. Make sure and hit that like button. Make sure and subscribe. We need subscribers, and we need your help to keep this channel going. Thank you for watching.